done something where this something is working, it fits in with your goals, and then you either get sidetracked and you let it go, you get bored with it, you let it go, you don't think it's working, you let it go, and then you find out after the fact that it was actually working pretty darn good and it really aligns with your goals. Hi, I'm Kathleen Gage with Power Up for Profits and Passion for Thriving, and that's my topic for today. A few years ago, it was actually in 2014, I believe, I started a podcast show called, of all things, Power Up for Profits Podcast. And the URL is powerupforprofitspodcast.com. I had the show for about a year, and when I first started, I did something that I've been known to do. I went in like gangbusters. I thought, okay, if they're recommending one show a week, the experts, if they're recommending one show a week, well, I think I'll do one show a day. And most of the experts had advised, don't do a show a day because there's a learning curve. It takes time. I had a support person, so I figured, well, the support person, she can handle all the back end details, but I still had to put my time aside for the interviews, for reaching out to experts, for bringing on the people I wanted to. And so against better judgment, against recommendations by experts who have been doing this for quite a while, I decided to do a show a day. Well, I have to tell you, after a few months, I was exhausted. I was burnt out. I wasn't seeing the kind of results that I was hearing from other people where they were getting millions of downloads. And so I stopped the podcast. And it's been on the back burner. And I thought, okay, that's it. I'm never going to do a podcast again. Well, recently, as I've been really focusing on content marketing, and I've been a content marketer for years, but really wanting to rebirth my message and bring my message out in a bigger way about transformation, about achievement, about breaking your own limiting beliefs. I started looking into some of the things I've done in the past, and I looked at my podcast numbers, and granted, they're not as great as other people, but I looked and I had 56,000 downloads. 56,000 downloads. That's phenomenal. Without really even knowing a lot of what I was doing at the time compared to what I know now. And I thought if I would have stuck with it, I would be getting the million downloads. And so what I decided, I made a decision. I am rebirthing my podcast show. It'll be within the next 30 days, but we're working on all the back end stuff, cleaning up the page, making sure that the content is current, making sure it aligns with the goals that I have. But between the podcast show, between YouTube videos like this, between the blogging I do, between the podcast interviews I do as an expert, bringing it all together for an aligned message. And my message today is watch how you sabotage your own success. I just recently finished the book, The Big Leap, and it talks about the upper limit. I'm actually sending that book to a family member who I love sending her my books because she likes to read a lot of the same type of books that I do. But in that book, Gay Hendricks talks about how we reach a point where we're starting to feel some success at something, and then for whatever reason, usually fear, we sabotage our success. Well, my podcast was coming along great. I had some phenomenal guests, and I encourage you, go to my podcast page, and that's powerupforprofitspodcast.com, and I'll put the link down below. And check out some of the experts, people like John Lee Dumas, people like Brian Basilica, people like David Perdue, just a slew of people. I have over 100 episodes. They're short episodes, so you can listen while you're on a run, while you're on a drive, if you're at the gym. But the point being is, don't sabotage your own success, because we all do it. And I'm one of the worst offenders. I go along, things are going great, and I know what my goals are. I know how I want to impact the world, and I stop myself. I stop myself just short of the miracle happening. So don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle. Go out, do what you're here to do, play in the biggest way. And the reason I'm sharing this with you today is a lot of times people don't know that I too sabotage my success. We all do. We're humans. So I encourage you, visit my podcast page, listen to the episodes. That'll increase my downloads. And, we like to look at our numbers, but I'm not going to focus on numbers. I'm going to focus on purely high quality content with high quality guests. I just got off the phone with a woman who's a executive recruiter, and I know that a lot of people that are in business for themselves, at a certain point, they realize running a business is not as easy as they thought it was. And oftentimes they're going out into the job market. And I asked her, could you talk about that and bring it to my market? Because there are people that need to hear that information. So I'll be addressing a lot of different topics to do with career, to do with business, to do with content marketing. Most of all, though, to do with you being you, taking your message out to the world and playing the biggest game possible, because you only go around once, and this is not a dress rehearsal. This is Kathleen Gage with Power Up for Profits and Passion for Thriving, encouraging you. Have a great day.